All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads, and we're going to be going over expired marketing. Good to see so many people. Rob Rosa, how you doing? Good to see you. Wayne, nice. Joy, Sean, so many good people. Love it. Leo, love all of your videos that you're doing. Great job on that, on those shorts. We got to get more people doing it. You're doing a great job with that. So good job on that, buddy. And whoops, what did I just do? Let's try that again. Let's bring it up. There we go. All right. Shalom Kumar. Good to see you. Welcome to Listings to Leads. Saw that you just signed up the other day, I think, maybe. So welcome to the system. Jackie, awesome. Good to see so many people. My God, I love it. So let me ask, anybody here doing expireds? I tell you, we got great success with people using Listings to Leads, going after expireds. There are three main things that people can do. We got the listing presentation that you can prepare for an expired. I literally, I shouldn't say we literally have a client. They've got 400 listings in their account. And what they're doing is they're doing all of the expireds. They're doing their entire farm area. They're adding them all as listing presentation status. And they're sending the listing presentations, whether they're expired, will they get the expired version? And I think we've canceled. I got to check on that. I think we may have canceled as well. We'll check on that today live. Maybe we've got it live. Maybe we don't quite yet. So anyways, we got the listing presentation for expireds. We've got the landing page that you can create, and it's got the entire marketing funnel for expireds. We've got the PDF guide that you can print up. In fact, you know what? Let me do this. Because this is really not a bad little item. There is a thermal binder. It's like $50. Thermal, my other monitor. Give me 1 second here. Thermal binder. There we go. It's like $50. It's so cheap. $57. I'm going to pop that right here. I'll come back to this a little bit later, but I use that to create this, right? The PDF version. I just print the PDF. I drop it in, it binds it, does a nice job. I wouldn't do it for a straight up listing presentation. For that, I would get a better folder or a better binder. But I think when it's something where I don't know the people, and we'll walk through all of this, but just as a really quick overview. In fact, let's do this. Let's go ahead at listingstoleads.com. Let's go ahead and log into your account. And if we go to listings, and I am sure all of you are aware. So now we're going to walk through how to create this. So don't get too scared that you're missing something. I'll walk you through that, but I just want to show you what it looks like to get you excited first. So I got this expired listing here that I added to my account. Drove by, took a photo. And when I add it, you see how it says expired status expired here. And I got the owner's name, the owner's email and phone number. And if I click on Flipbook, that is prepared for Eric Braden at 7800 Elm Drive in Folsom, California. The complete marketing plan to get your expired home sold. And I'm telling you, this is changing the game. So many people, they walk into a listing presentation, they're so better prepared, so much more at ease. Instead of having to try and explain, people tell me it's like, there's no arguing this. When I talk about commission, there's no blowback because they just went through 26 pages of my listing presentation. And when I have the homeowner scan the QR code right there, and there's a couple of different pages, but this page here, they scan the QR code. It's absolutely a game changer. Yes, this is being recorded. It will be on our YouTube channel. I'll show you where you can find our YouTube channel very easily in your account. If you click marketing calendar and then resources, you'll see a link to our YouTube channel. You'll find all of our recordings there. We record all of our trainings. And you can see it's Eric Braden's home on every single page. And then we go through here. We are coming out with a facility. It'll be a checkbox where you can take off the coming soon. But even if you don't do coming soon, I'll walk through a little bit on how to present this, where you talk about coming soon as what we're going to do before we list the property. So if you are presenting this in a listing presentation, you're talking to an expired and they ask you about what is coming soon marketing. If you don't have an actual coming soon capability in your MLS, or you just don't do it, coming soon is just we take the photos, we make sure the property looks great, we get everything prepared for listing it for sale. So anyways, when we go through here, right, pending, right, such an awesome thing to be able to tell the homeowner that even when your property goes into contract, we're going to keep marketing it until it closes escrow, or at the very minimum, until all contingencies are removed. They can scan QR codes here to get a couple of different of your branded PDF guides. So this right here, for your expires is absolutely awesome. And let's walk through creating that first, and let's see if we can create that for canceled, because I think that may have just gone live recently. I know we're talking about expireds, but canceleds are very similar. And so how to create that, and there's also a PDF and there's also a landing page, and I'll walk you through how to use all of those. So if I go to add listing manual, so it has to be done manually. It just takes a few seconds. There's a drop down right here. And so I got listing presentation. You can always start off with the draft and then change it as you need, so you can at least get it started. And we got expired. Right there's expired. You can do the same thing for sale by owner, FSBO draft, and then canceled. So let's try canceled real quick. I think we got canceled spelled wrong. My bad. I'm going to say home and Folsom. Just keep it easy. And I'll get an address 689 Whitney Way, Folsom. This is all you got to do. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got that. I can leave all that blank. I can leave that blank. Save and add photos. Upload image. Just need one image. So I'll just pop an image here. I'm going to use that one for sold. Insert. And so if this is not going to create the flip book and the PDF and the landing page like I'm thinking it might, then it's going to be going live soon. Maybe it's just not live yet. But I know my team had mentioned this a few days ago, and I just don't remember if it went live or not. So let's see here real quick, taking a few seconds. Maritza, good to see you. Amber, yes, this is being recorded. I love it. Thank you for the question. And I'm going to save and add seller. And so I'll just add the seller salutation. So I'll just say Frank at listingstoleads.com. That's not a real email, but that's fine. Dear Frank, comma, always CC me. And I'm going to check all of that. Send referral and lead gen e-flyer Facebook campaigns. Those are the tools for the seller. These are so powerful. You get a feel for what they look like here. So these are tools, and we cover these in the listing training, but these are tools that the seller can put on their Facebook page and share via email. It's a little, let's see if I can scroll down. So just to get a feel for it. We actually should update these graphics as they look a lot nicer now than they did before. I'm going to click, and it's really not save and start marketing. It's just really save, because canceled, expired, FSBO. Oh, yes. Now it's going to take a minute to prepare. So I'll just come back to that in a second, but check this out. The complete marketing plan to get your home sold. That's the home seller's home in this case. Okay. We should add canceled, right? Just so they know that we understand that their home was canceled. But how brilliant is this? All right. So it's going to take a minute. It's going to prepare the flip book. We'll come back to that in a few minutes. But now you see, oh, I don't need to go to the dashboard. Now you see how quick and easy it is to create these things. And so when that's ready in a couple of minutes, I'll have the print version that I can print up. It's a PDF, 26 pages. If I come back here to this expired, just click on the property address. And I'll walk you through three different ways you might use this. One is this is the landing page. And so you might send this to the expired homeowner. You could even send it to them via text, right? Say, hey, so if you're using something like My Plus Leads, you find them on Zillow, you go through the MLS, you get their information. You could send this landing page, right? Just copy the URL, send it via text. You could send it via email. And that way, when they click download, they'll download it and they'll download the PDF version, and you will get the lead notification letting you know that this homeowner, in this case, Eric Braden, downloaded your expired marketing plan. So that's one way to use it. In a listing presentation, sometimes agents will send it to the homeowner after the listing presentation in case any of their friends or family, anybody else that might be involved in the transaction or just want to see your marketing plan. And that way the homeowner can share this with their friends and family. And that way, when those people download it, you get more leads. And I've had people tell me they actually do that, which is brilliant. We've got and again, this is for the expired listing, 7800 Elm Drive. So we got the PDF right here. And that'll download up there. And so so this is what we'll download from the landing page. And you can see right there, the complete marketing plan to get your expired home sold. All right, it's the same thing as a PDF. It's just a PDF version. And every image, look at that. Every image on this thing is of their home. And it's it's a game changer. Every week I hear from somebody that is using these to convert. And in fact, I just talked to a client who did this with a FSBO and converted the FSBO. He used the FSBO landing page first to engage them. And then when they got tired of pretending they were a real estate agent, he prepared this and went through it with them and got that FSBO converted into a listing, and he got it sold. Absolutely brilliant. Look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that domain. People, and this is something when you're going to present this either to an expired FSBO, canceled listing presentation, take a look at that domain. World's best listing. People absolutely love it. And then here, so if anybody I'll leave this right here for a second. If you want to scan that on your phone, I think you should be, let me know if I need to make it bigger for you. But if you want to take out your phone, scan that real quickly and imagine you are the homeowner and maybe you dropped this off for an expired listing. This costs like $10. It would cost you probably $10 to generate an expired lead. You could buy, in fact, I'm going to drop this into the chat. And here we go. All right. And that question, can we use another agent's photos? You're asking me a legal question, right? And so that's not really something I can answer. What I would say is, now I want you to think about this. I think if you think about it for half a second, you'll realize that's not a good idea. The listing expired. Why would I want to use anything from the listing agent? I wouldn't, because then they're going to be like, you don't look any different. Yeah, sure, you got this, but they're going to know that you just took the listing agent's photos. Is that really what you want? I don't think so. It's understandable. It can be easier because I can right click, download, upload, and I'm done in 30 seconds. But you really need to go take a photo of the property, and you can let them know, hey, when I do my listings, we use professional photos. I just had to get a photo of your property so I could show you what it would possibly look like in my marketing. But no, don't be taking the listing agent's photos. Plus, you're probably going to get a very nasty email and phone call, and your broker may get the same phone call, and no one's going to be very happy to deal with the mess of taking other people's photos. Sean, is that right? Yeah. If you're going to be sitting there telling that homeowner that I go above and beyond what other agents do, and then you take another agent's photos, I don't know. It's not a good look on so many different levels. It's a fair enough question, but like I said, I'm sure if you would have thought about that for a few seconds, you'd realize that not a good idea. Let's go back and see that canceled. Let's see if that should be ready to go. That's exciting. To be honest, I've been so busy lately. So here we got a canceled listing. All right. And I think we got to spell that properly. We will check on that in a bit, but let's go ahead and click on the property address again. Here's our flip book. And yeah, and I'll make sure we'll do this the same as the expired. So the complete marketing plan to get your canceled home sold. So we'll change that by tomorrow. So if you add the listing today or by tomorrow, we'll have this all dialed in to be absolutely perfect. But check this out. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And I'll go to the page where it's got that large QR code. Look at that. Single property website, full screen. All right. Domain 689 whitneyel.worldsbestlisting.com. And you can actually customize that domain. I'll show you that in a second here. So let me pop out my phone. Hold on. I still get excited scanning these QR codes, to be honest with you. Let me scan it. Boom. Gorgeous. See that right there? Look at that. See that? There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, Zillow is getting sued. I don't remember exactly why, but I know there was that other website that they were allowing listings or something. Not really relevant for today, but yeah, don't, you don't want to get sued. All right, here's the landing page. So again, I could text this over to that canceled listing, to the expired listing, to the FSBO listing. Man, and they see that coming. Think about that, right? They pop this up on their phone. They're going to see it's their home. They're going to be like, damn. And they see the address right there, right? Their name will be on here. Come on, absolutely crushing it. Here's the PDF. All right. And again, like I said, we'll fix that title so it reads very similar to the expired. But look at this, every single page. You are going now, when you print this up, I know I looked it up and I can't remember exactly, but it was like 7 to 8, 9 cents a page for printing on a laser printer at your home. If your office has a good printer. Somebody once said to go to Office Depot or whatever, whatever, one of those stores. I looked that up, and to be honest, it didn't seem like it seemed like it was more expensive. So maybe I didn't look at the right thing. But your office, depending on how much they charge you per page, uh, it may literally be cheaper to print this up. Now you could drop it in the mail. You could put it in an envelope, right? Put their information on it. Attempt to go door knock their home. And if they're not home, just leave this behind. That's what this one agent is doing. Just 400 listings, like it was 426 or something listings as of last week. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. Any question on this before I move on? Greg says, finally, what does that mean? Finally, come on. We got a lot of things you can use, but this is a game changer. Yeah. Rosemarie, our MLS has mostly canceled listings and expireds, or at least 1 to 20 a day with our marketing. What marketing? Yeah, no, Rosemarie. Yeah, so do the canceled. What I would do now, I wouldn't do this for every single cancel. There's too many of them. But for the ones that are in my farm area, for the price point that I want, I would definitely do it. So I might spend one day going around and taking some photos, come back into listings to leads, add those listings as canceled. And again, by tomorrow, we'll have that perfect so that the cover sheets and everything have the word canceled on it with the homeowner's name, just like you saw with the expired. And you could, like I said, you could send them the landing page. They're going to see their home. They're going to see their name on it. In fact, I'm going to try to make it just a little bit big. In fact, I'm going to make it so that their name is on the landing page. You know what I mean? I think that would make it even more compelling. But regardless, I'm splitting hairs at this point. All right. Does that make sense, Rosemarie? Oh, I'm so excited that you even said that. Yeah. It wasn't even until a couple of weeks ago that somebody mentioned that to us about canceled. And I was like, I hate it when other people have amazing ideas that I never even thought of. I love it because they shared it with me, but then I was thinking, I can't believe I didn't think of that myself. Does that make sense? Neil Singerman. So the address of the expired is on the report. No, don't use a generic photo. Use a photo of the property. Yeah, definitely use a photo of the property. Worst case scenario, I would use Google Street View. Let me see. Let's do this. Let me pop up on my other monitor. Give me a second. Maps.google.com. Let me do an address of a property that I know. And let's see here. I'm going to pop up Google Street View. And I don't know. You tell me. It's got the car in the driveway, which you may go by. Oh my God, I've done this before. You go by and there's like a big car in the driveway. You're just like, God dang it. Now, there might be an AI program that you can use that would take out the car. You might be able to get away with that. But yeah, that's a south facing. So it's probably when the sun was pretty hot and heavy on it. But yeah. So, anyways, yeah, Google Street View might work because again, we just want them to see that we got their home in this. So do not take the listing agent's photos from before. Wrong on so many levels. Google Street View would be the down and dirty version to get this going. Yeah, Neil, you can crop it, but the problem is I'm going to be cropping out what I would do this. This is ridiculous. I would pop it like that. Come in here. All right, I'm going to do a little. I spend too much time jerry rigging this kind of stuff. Look at this. Kind of get that. And I'm just making it disappear. It doesn't have to be perfect. They're not going to ever, if I were to do that, they're not going to notice. Yeah, I'm halfway there. I'm halfway to where I want to be. If I spend a little bit more time, I could block that out. But again, there might be an AI program that would allow you to do that a little bit easier. I don't know, Adobe, where you can brush it out maybe. How do you copy Google? How do you copy? You mean the map? I just use a program called Snagit on a Mac. You could also, what happened to that? Let me bring it back real quick. Maps.google.com. And let's just try another address. Oh, that's a trailer park. Give me a second. I'm just gonna bring up. All right, here's another property. Ooh, that's a pretty property. So here we go. No car in the driveway. Beautiful. Nothing I need to do there. So snag it, or like on a Mac, Command Shift 4. And then I can just go like that. And then just save that to my computer and upload that. That would work. That would work great. That's nice. No cropping needed. All right. Yes, the Street View pick. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You just type in, let's see, 121 Pine Lane, right? So it comes up like this. You just click over here on the top left. All right. You can move it around a little bit if you need to. And then you snag it. You may have another program in your laptop or whatever. And then on a Mac, now on a PC, look it up if you need to. But on a Mac, it's Command Shift 4. And then you see how I got that little thing, like the whatever you call that. And then I can just go boom. Actually, I'll tell you, for a double wide trailer, that's actually pretty. That's not bad at all. And there we go. Look at that. Boom, bada bing. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Any questions on preparing for canceled or expired? The flip book, the presentation, right? The PDF that you can download and print. Again, I gave the Amazon link. If you go to Amazon, you might be watching this on a recording. Just type in thermal binding machine, maybe, and then you'll come. And it's the one for $57. It's what I've got, and it's what I use for this. Now, again, I'm not going to use this in a listing presentation because I'm going to do a nicer one for a listing presentation. But for something like an expired, a canceled, a FSBO, I would definitely use it in a heartbeat. For Windows, Linda says, Lindy, Windows key Shift S, take a screenshot. So in Windows, she says Windows key Shift and capital S. Snagit only, no. Neil, I use Snagit, dude. This is Snagit right here. Look at this. This is Snagit right here on my Mac. No, Snagit's on a Mac for sure. All right. So we've got that. That's amazing. Print it up, drop it off. If you're using a program like, you got the MLS, but you also have something like My Plus Leads, where My Plus Leads, I can get their email and their phone number. You might be able to get that through another program. And again, for the email, I could send them a link to, I would send them the landing page, I think, because then I want them to be able to download it. Maybe if they don't respond in a few days, I send them the link to the actual flip book so they can actually just see it. But then if it's going to be something in my farm area where if somebody else got that listing, it would kill me, where for literally $10, I could print it up, door knock, and leave it at their property if they don't answer the door. And I would get get a nice, whether it's a manila envelope or maybe a FedEx type of thing, and put their information on it. And that way it's going to look so nice. It's going to look so nice. I would also bring in an e-flyer if you're going door knocking. And you know what? So thank you, Neil. Great comment. All right. I'm going to have my team put this into Canva that you can take and swap out again, right? Take a screenshot of the cover, right? Windows, whatever it was, Windows key Shift S. On a Mac, it's Command Shift 4. Use a program like Snagit. And then you'll be able to replace mine with yours, and have a letter that you could attach with it. So give me a couple of days, and you know what I'll do? I'll also see if I can drop this into the mastermind group, but I'll try to get that to my team right after this call. I was thinking about it as I was coming on the call. I was like, man, because we just did, let me move that over. For those of you, have you seen this? So we just did that for open house with Canva. And this is an open house sign-in sheet request flyer, where the idea is that you put it near the door, you put it near the sign-in sheet, and it says, welcome to the open house. Your visit is important to us. The seller has respectfully requested. And so what you can do, and it says they'll get a digital copy of the print flyer, a link to the property website, a free guide, 6 things to check before buying a home. And then it even says financing worksheet and options down there. So what you can do, and I'll give you that link right now. Here, let me pop that. Michael says, how do we get access to do this in our area? Michael, when you say to do this, what do you mean to do this in our area? Trish says, what type of platform is My Plus Leads? That's a platform where they have all the FSBO expired and even farm data. So you can go to My Plus Lead and let's see, did I close it? I closed it. But you can, like, I get a daily email of all the FSBOs, all the expireds and canceleds sent to me via email. Then I can log in. I can skip trace, go against the DNC. So that way when I call them, right, I'm not going to get into trouble when I call them, but I've also got their emails. A lot of times I'll have like 2 or 3 phone numbers and emails of the owner, the co-owner and everything. You've got Prospect Boss, My Plus Leads. There's a few of the other programs. Oh, Michael, that's Listings to Leads. That's the company that's the company I'm with. Yeah. So what I was saying a little bit earlier though, is for that letter I just showed you. All right, this letter right here, that letter, I will have my team create a Canva link like this. And I was just walking you through what we already got for the open house. And what you can do is click File, make a copy. And so now I'm in my own Canva. So this is now, I took it from Listings to Leads. I'm now in my account, right? I'm not in the Listings to Leads account like you would be if you took it. Michael, $95 a month. And then in Canva, you can go to, like, for example, upload. So I want to change that image and I can upload file. And I did that right here. So you can see here. In fact, so I think if I click there, let's try it again. Oh, all right. Command Z. Just pop that image in. And now I got a open house sign-in request form. Boom. For my open house. And then I could even, if I don't want to include a financing worksheet, I can just edit this. And if you don't know how to do this, somebody in your office, I promise you there's another agent in your office that knows Canva really well that you could ask, hey, can you show me how to download and edit this? It just took me 5 seconds. right? So if you got an open house this weekend and you're going to use the open house sign-in form from Listings to Leads, this is a great thing to put out. So that way people are a little bit more, you don't have to beg for people to sign in. I've always been a little bit like, I hate asking people to sign in, to be honest with you. A lot of you are better than I probably am at that. So this right here is a really nice thing because I'm still going to mention it. So somebody comes into the open house, I would still say, hey, the seller has asked that everybody sign in for security and safety. I might not say safety, that's a little bit weird, but for security purposes, thank you so much for your cooperation. And then when they see this flyer sitting there, and I might have like either laying there or I might get an acrylic holder like this. So it's just sitting on the table like that. It's just more official. Makes sense? So Neil says, I agree. I like my plus leads because of my area. I get current data from the full. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Perfect. All right, Neil, thank you so much for helping out there with some of the information. All right. So we got two more things I want to get to, and we don't have a ton of time. I pay attention in the mastermind group. That's where I'll announce when that link is ready for the expired letter. Cause I think that letter could go out by itself really easily as well. And I'll do a video on how to actually use it. All right. So in listings to leads, we've also got the expired PDF guide. So I'm going to click PDF guides right there. I'm going to use a search. I could just scroll around looking for it, but if I just type in expired and boom, expired, I'm going to click marketing tools. This is available both in English and Spanish. What I'm looking for here is not so much the Facebook ad. If you wanted to do a Google ad, you could. In fact, let me show you. If I download the guide, right? English, Spanish, English. It's an easier conversation now in areas. Linda, yeah, smart. Yeah. So here's the PDF guide that you want to get to the expired homeowners. Hey, what went wrong? What to do? All right, so we're just gonna we had a lot of great feedback on these PDF guides. They're all like 7 to 10 pages for the most part. The ultimate guide to selling a home, the ultimate guide to buying a home, those are over 100 pages long, but most of the other ones, they're conversation starters. So they're meant to give the person enough information to then warrant a call with you, a conversation with you, to get them completely dialed in as to whatever that PDF guide is. In this case, it's about expired listings. And you could do a social media post. But for our purposes here, we really want the e-flyer, and we've also got a print flyer. And so let's look at the print flyer first. And I'll just click download JPEG well, I would normally download the PDF because then I can print it. And so if you don't want to print or don't have the ability to print add their listing or add their home and create that entire PDF, 26 pages, this is a great one to get to the expired homeowner. We got postcards, we got door hangers. And again, when someone scans it, go ahead and scan the QR code. So everybody go ahead if you want to take out, let me make it a little bit bigger so it's easier for some of you. There we go. And let's go ahead and scan it. I'm going to do it right now myself. Boom. And right there, expired listing. Can you see it? Expired listing failed to sell. And I can just download it right from the landing page. Love it. Beautiful. So we got the print flyer. We got postcards and door hangers. Awesome. So just like the print flyer. So for example, if you got an expired postcard campaign, you could add this as one of the shipments that go out to those expired homeowners. We got a QR code. So if you want to create your own postcard, but then still use our guide, download the QR code, put it on your postcard, put it on your own door hanger, put it on your own print flyer. And that way you can still leverage the infrastructure that we have with listings to leads, but you can customize it however you want. We've got the e-flyer. No, it says the e-flyer for database only because that's what we call for all the guides. For expireds, for example, like I'm not going to send out a FISBO e-flyer to my entire database. That's a weird. These are meant more for like one-offs, like one-to-one. So for using My Plus Leads, if you're checking the MLS and you've got their email, then this e-flyer to send to the expired homeowner. All right. We've got the subject line. Your home didn't sell. Here's what to do next. Everything is editable. And then it says, hello, first name. I know how frustrating and disappointing it can be when a home doesn't sell and the listing expires. The good news, it's not the end of the road. There are clear reasons. And see, just go through that. Take a look at this. And the image is linked, and people just click the link, the image, excuse me, and they go right to the, oh, yeah, they download the guide right away. And then you'll get a notification. So when you send this email to somebody and they click the image to download the guide, you're going to get a notification right away. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. No landing page, no nothing. Now, I can send now, but you can't add people to listings to leads. So what you could do, and I've actually done this. In fact, you know what I've done? Here, let me show you. I should have brought this up earlier, but give me a second here, and I'm going to show you something so cool. Does everybody know how to set up a template? Oop, what happened? There we go. All right. So send yourself a test email. That you can also put this in Follow Up Boss, Bold Trail, Lofty, but check this out. I'm going to send myself a test email, send test email. All right. Send. And so for example, Gmail, in fact, you know what, I'll tell you, let's just do this live. I think some of you are going to absolutely have your minds blown. So let me refresh. There we go. What am I doing? Opening up in a new window. Is that what I should do? No. Give me a second. I wasn't even thinking to show this today, but I definitely should, because this is so awesome. But what? Open a new window. All right. All right. Let's see if I can do this. So here's the email. And this is the email that I want to send to the expired homeowner. And so what you can do is I'm going to create a template, create event. Why am I blanking on this all of a sudden? Let me see here. Give me a second. I apologize for my seemingly lack of ability, but I do this all the time. That's why why am I blanking all of a sudden? Because I want to create a template from it. Filter, print. I'm looking at my other monitor in case you're wondering what I'm looking at. And that is so weird. All right. You know what? I'll have to show this later. Huh. Give me a second. If I do that, okay. So open a new window. Oh my God, that's so weird. Because I've done this so many times. All of a sudden now I feel like, all right, anyways, take this email, and I'm going to show you how to copy the code, put it into whatever you want. But I've actually got this in Gmail as a template. So for example, let's say I'm using My Plus Leads. I get their email, and you go to send an email, whatever email program you're using, you can drop this in there. So it's just ready to go. You could use it as part of a campaign. So if I go to My Plus Leads and I download the 1,000 canceled expired listings, and then I put them in my database, set this email as one of the emails that go to those people. And yeah, I don't know. That is so weird. I'll look at it a little bit later, but let me just show you here. If I go back to that email, so here's that email. So I'm in listings to leads, PDF guides, and I clicked on the green marketing tools, and we're at e-flyer for your database. And if I copy code, right, this is going to copy the email with no listings to lead signature. This will copy listings to lead the email with the signature. And then this is the version for Follow Up Boss. So I've got Follow Up Boss just as a test account. I don't really use it. And so here's Follow Up Boss. and you're just going to, and it's lofty, bold trail, whatever, right? They all work pretty much the same way. What you're going to do is, what now you can add it as a template, but let me just show you. If I click on insert HTML, pop in the code, replace HTML, ask your CRM if you need to, because just do it once. And you see where it says use as template. And I'm going to call that template expired listing PDF guide. All right. And then save it. However it is you save it. I'm not a follow-up boss expert, but you'll be able to do that in your CRM. And that way you've got it ready to go. And again, the beautiful thing about that email is there's no landing page, because you know who it's going to, right? You have the person's name and email at a minimum. You may have their phone number and other information as well. So you'll know who downloaded it, and then just reach out to them, say, hey, I saw that you downloaded my guide. It's got some great information there. Let's talk about maybe what happened. It might have been priced, but a lot of agents say that just because they are not great marketers. I would love to send you my 100-point home marketing plan that will like literally show you how we market properties to get them sold. It's just a beautiful thing. Anita, I don't know why I'm absolutely blanking. Let me just see one more thing here real quick. Mark as unread, snooze, archive. And it's so many times. It's killing me. Yeah, I'll have to do it. I'll have to check it later. But I think if you were to, yeah, I don't know why all of a sudden I just don't see it. But ChatGPT, how do I create an email template in Follow Up Boss and Gmail and whatever? It's so easy. 9 times out of 10, like I've got the FSBO set up that way. I got the expired set up that way. It's so easy to do. Now, people have done, I would do the social media post. And here's my reasoning for the social media post is I want people in my area to associate me as the person people go to when when their listings couldn't sell or their home couldn't sell. Why? Because in their mind, they're going to think, I don't want my home to not sell. I should just go with Scott to begin with. Because obviously, everybody knows homes are expiring, their homes sitting longer and longer. And so why go through that? Scott apparently has a plan on how to get homes that have expired sold. Obviously, we got our 100-point home marketing plan. You might be doing property videos, drone tours, 3D tours, right? Catered open houses, right? There are other things that you may be doing, which is brilliant. That's awesome. Good for you. But at a very bare minimum, you're going to have something that is so funny. I pay attention to what's going on in the industry. And so I'll see these other vendors and they talk about their listing presentation and holy cow, I'm like, please go up against one of our people, please. The only people that are going to beat you if you're using our 100-point home like this right here is another agent from Listings to Leads. That's it. All right. That is it. And back to this social media post right here is I want people to know that, listen, I help people that have expired or canceled. Why even go with somebody else to begin with? Just come to me to start with. I can change the media. You can upload a custom Canva image. Normally, if I type in expired, it should have shown some of the other expired. Let's see. That's why media from L to L. And if I go expired, search. So there's a couple of other things right here. I know we've actually got an update coming to all of these images. Beautiful, beautiful update. Very classy, very elegant, very nice. But again, I can go to Canva, create an image if I wanted to as well. All right. And then post that to all my socials, right? Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, and Google. You could do a Facebook ad. In fact, let me show you. Let me bring up ChatGPT because I was working and I said, I want 2 different ads. Let me see if I can find it. I should be able to find it. Add feedback. Let me see if this is the chat. Claim, no. Oh, that was for down payment assistance. Yeah, I got an ad running for down payment assistance. I'm going to see how that's working. My wife is a mortgage broker, and so we got a VA loan and a down payment assistance that I was working with her on. And let me see. Hey, God, I was just doing this yesterday. Email. Oh, it was under this right here. All right, hold on a second. Oh my God, this one is so long. Let me see. Let me scroll up, and I'll drop it. In fact, I'll drop it into the mastermind group a little bit later, but we'll look at it together right now. And so here's what I did. I went to ChatGPT and I said, give me this. So I dropped what is in here. And I said, but give me that from the perspective of a homeowner who could be worried about their home not selling. Does that make sense for everybody? This is really geared towards a homeowner that is already sold or already expired. So here, let me bring this over. And I'll see about dropping some of this into the mastermind group. So you can see here on my screen, your home didn't sell, now what to do. Okay. And you can see up here, or sellers worried it could happen to them, right? So so the first one is for the people whose home did expire, but that's going to be a really small audience. And so I said, yeah, and here we go. In fact, I'm going to drop this. Here's a second version. Yeah. I'm going to drop this into the mastermind group right now. And then all of you can go to the mastermind group, and I'll put a little context around it later so people know why the heck I'm doing this. But all of you on here will know why. And let me just a little bit of formatting, and then I'll show you how to use it. So give me 1 second. Not bad, not bad, not bad. All right. Boom. I'm going to post. And then, so I'm going to show you right now how I would use this. So a little bit later, come into the mastermind group. You don't need to do it now because it's not going to go anywhere. So come in here, and you don't need the top part because that's telling you what's going on. Take all of this, just highlight this. All right, highlight all that. Come back into listings to leads. And I would go to social media post, and up right there, post text. And I'm going to actually not delete the link. So I want that link to stay there. But now I've got this written for the perspective of a homeowner who might be worried. Like, they know homes aren't selling, but they need to get their home sold. And we got the headline. All right. Again, and I can edit that a little bit. You can see how everything in the post changed over here. And I'm going to go change media. I'm going to use a different image. I'm going to use this image. And in fact, somebody want to remind me later, I will drop that link, because this is actually a ChatGPT image right there with the sold sign. I think it looks really nice, very clean. And now I've got a social media post that is more geared towards a homeowner that, like I said, they're thinking about selling. They know what's going on in the industry. They know what's going on in the marketplace. And so now we got something that's actually speaking to them, in addition to the default post that is more tailored towards that much, much not so small of a market like it should be, because more and more homes are being canceled and expired, but it's still smaller than the other market. Make sense for everybody? Everybody get what I'm trying to say right there with this? Everybody like that idea? Right. I think it's brilliant. All right. Why is nobody commenting? Someone. All right, but let me know you're still alive. Go ahead and leave a quick comment. Let me know that you get what I'm saying here. And that if you are, let me know if you're part of the mastermind group, and you'll be able to get a hold of that post a little bit later. And I wonder if it's just not showing me the comments. I don't see anybody commenting. Let me see here. I'm going to put a comment there. Hey, all right. We good? All right. Next up is the landing page. So we're going to go about 5 minutes long. I apologize, but the last thing here we've got is if I go to landing pages and create landing page. All right, so there's that green button in the top left right here, create landing page, type expired. And I wonder if we don't have canceled, but let me see something. Somebody give me a neighborhood. Not part of the mastermind group. How do you join? Linda, great question. Just ask our support or just find us on Facebook or ask our support team. They'll add you. Who can I pay to do this for me? Again, ask our support because there are some things that we can actually do for you. So somebody give me a name of a neighborhood. Yeah, I know what you mean. We all need about 45 hours in a day, and I am right with you. I am right with you. Lake Nona? Lake, I never heard of that before. Lake Nona. And create landing page. I really should say create landing page and marketing funnel. Boom. Let's just click on view really quickly here. Check this out. Did not sell your Lake Nona home? As an expert in real estate marketing, I'd like to offer you a free review. And then so people, now we got to get this landing page in front of people, right? Name, email, phone number, get my free review. Great, phenomenal landing page. I can customize the image, the text. I can customize the items that I want on the landing page. I can customize the image that will display on social media. And so for all of you, yeah, I got the neighborhood. So take that and a little bit later, when you come into listings to leads, go to landing pages, create landing page and click it, select expired, drop in that neighborhood that you just gave me or that sales area. And check this out. Now, when I click on marketing tools, just like before, I am not probably going to run a Facebook ad for this, but I might do the social media post. And I would do something very similar. I would go into listings to leads. I'm going to grab that text that we put, and a little bit later, I'll come in here and I'll tell everybody why I put that. There's probably people in the mastermind group right now going like, why did you put that in there? But back in listings to leads, right under social media post, I'm going to drop that above it and just edit this. Like it literally takes me 5 to 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. Boom. And here's my post on the right. Thinking about selling, worried your home won't sell. Not every home sells the first time it's listed. In fact, many expire unsold. I could change that to cancel, right? Leaving the homeowners frustrated and stuck. And that might be something I post every week or two, especially in a market like this. I might go into ChatGPT because it knows your conversations, right? It saves your conversation. So it knows what you did last week. You might create a conversation. And here's a little tip for ChatGPT. What I do when I know it's going to be something I'm going to probably come back to, like this conversation here that we were just looking at, is I will give it. In fact, I'll show you an example right here, but I'll give it essentially like a subject line. And here's an example of one. All right. And this is actually really cool. Oh, let me do this. Let me just bring that over. So I was watching Adam Carolla last night and it was so cool. He literally said, because they were talking about weddings and apparently someone was charging people to go to their wedding. And Adam Carolla, it was beautiful. It was so perfect. He goes, yeah, he goes, if you're renting, you got no business spending more than $7,500 on your wedding because it's so stupid that you really need to be putting money for you need to be saving your money for a down payment on a home. Like it is so stupid for people that are renting to be spending a lot of money when that money would be way better spent by saving it up or using it as a down payment on a home. Like, how dumb are you that you are sitting there as a renter and you're going to spend like 30, 40, 50,000 bucks on a home? Like, who does that? Like an idiot does that. Excuse me. And so what I do is I don't just launch into what I want. So the first line is Adam Carolla advice to renters on getting married. And that way later, because it might be a week I get back to it, it might be 2 weeks. And then I'm scrolling through Chat GPT and I want to just be able to find those conversations really quickly. And so my wife is actually a mortgage broker and she's going to do a reaction video. So she'll be kind of like how I am. The Adam Carolla video will be playing where you're looking at. And yeah, anyways, I thought that's a little tip for you, if that matters for anybody. Any questions? Let me go back to the landing page one more time. Just like the PDF guide, we've got an e-flyer. So I can click on edit. Check that. Did not sell your Lake Nona home. As an expert in real estate marketing, I'd like to offer you. So we got, I don't know why there's two of the same one, but regardless, and there's also a print flyer. Now it says Folsom, but here, when I download, it's going to recycle it's regenerating. We got postcards. So if I've got a postcard campaign for expired listings, I can add that postcard and whatever image is on the landing page. So I can customize that image that will display right here. So let's take a look at that. That'll be the last thing I show you. So if you got any questions, go ahead and ask me real quickly. And I'm just going to make a couple of edits to this. I'm going to change the background image. So I'm going to upload image. And I'm going to use an image. I'll use that one. It's a little generic looking, but it's clean. It's got the sold home sign in front of it. Now you might use a neighborhood image, something that everybody in the area recognizes as the image. So I'm going to save that. And the other thing that I noticed is the domain. Refresh this. There we go. Already looks way better. But that domain is Lake Nona 47. And that's not optimal. So I'm going to click on domain and I'm just going to edit it real quick. I don't know why there's a 47 there, but now I'll save it. Ooh, it's already taken. Yeah, we got 4 different. Let's try it out. Oh, wow. That's funny. There must be people down there. There are people down there already using this. So how about we do Lake Nona homes? There we go. That'll work. Expired, sold fast. All right. So you see what I did there? Just there's a tab called domains. And I just want to make sure that's a really easy, nice domain so that when I'm using the print flyer, for example, now check this out. When I download it, PDF. And now I know people who will print up like 30 or 40 of these and they'll just drive. You got an hour, you're not doing anything. Just go door knock, print up the list of all those expireds in Lake Nona. Check this out. Lake Nona homes, expired, sold fast. I'm going to bring that up. Go ahead and scan the QR code. Let me make it big. Hold on a second. I'm making it as big as possible. Let's all scan the QR code really quickly. And Scott, any more photos you can share in LDL media files of homes? Yeah, because I got all these homes that I've created out of ChatGPT. So let me actually upload those. That's a great idea. Thank you, Neil. And if you want to ping me later, if I forget, oh yeah, check that out. Did not sell your Lake Nona home. Let me see if did not sell your Lake Nona home. And then boom. You see that? Beautiful. I think with ChatGPT, it's free, right? Like you don't need, but check that out. Now I can go door knocking or just door drop, leave this flyer at the expired homeowner's home. So I got the PDF. I got the flip book. I got the landing page. I got the PDF guide with the print flyer, with the email, with the social media post. I got the landing page with the print flyer, with the postcard, with the door hanger, with the e-flyer, with the social media post. And we've got so many different tools to help make sure that you are going to convert those expireds at a much, much higher level. And last thing is, I'm going to try to get this into Canva and I'll do a quick little video showing, because this QR code. Yeah, and in fact, in fact, I wonder if let me see something real quick. I wonder because that QR code, I just went to Bitly and I dropped in the flipbook URL, but I wonder if all right, any questions? Because we're about ready to tap out. Will I be able to use that domain now? Oh, yeah. Eileen, you know what? I will before do this, let me just cancel that for Eileen. But yeah, Eileen, there's like 4 or 5 different domains, so that domain can be used 4 or 5 times. But to your point, let me just real quickly here go and delete that. So I'll delete. I don't like to have too many of these for that reason. So I just deleted it. So that should be available. All right. But what I was going to do is to go to listings and again, we got canceled. We got expired. We saw how easy that is, right? It's so crazy easy to create these. And yeah, you know, I think the next thing we need to do is create a PDF QR code that you can use as well. Because having a QR code that links to the flip book, that'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. So you would drop the flyer, Neil, I would door knock, right? But I wouldn't necessarily expect them to be around. And I want to be prepared if they're not. So I don't have any with me, but I've got the flyer bags. Here, let me see. If I go to, give me a second here. Let me go to Amazon. Amazon. I'm in my other monitor, so I'm not looking at the screen. Excuse me. And if I do door hanger flyer bag, yeah. So I've actually bought this one before. It's like $10 for 100 of them, and you get like 110 or 120. At least that's what I got when I bought it. It was actually more than 100 by a fair amount. Now, not everyone has a door like this, obviously. Oh, you can. Oh, wow! Look at that. Oh, wow! 200 is almost 50% savings. Oh, you can get 300 for $20. Now, don't go crazy buying 300 if you're not going to really stay at it. Start with 100 or 200, and then because that'll last you for a few weeks at least, at a minimum. But yeah, Neil, whatever it is, right? Whether I door knock and they don't answer, I want to be able to leave it behind. And I don't want to put it in the mailbox. Again, I don't want to get yelled at, and I don't want people going on to next door yelling about some agent that was putting stuff in their mailbox, right? Oh, living in Las Vegas. I did not know that. Yeah, so living in Las Vegas. Do you ever watch that guy not leaving Las Vegas? I love his YouTube. That guy is awesome. Yeah, so living in Las Vegas. The domain I'm talking about is right for my canceled, expired, right? Any of these. Just click the address, and the domain I'm referring to is this one. Can you walk me through real quickly? How do I do I got on late. So are you actually putting the expired listing into L to L? No, not the landing page. No, what I did is I put the expired listing in to create the flip book and the listing presentation. General area. Yeah, Neil, for the landing page, I would definitely make it a general area. If you start creating landing pages for specific properties, I know someone that does. He's crazy in a good way. So good for him, but I think that's a lot to manage. I would create it for the sales area. I think that's going to be tight enough, right? I think that or good enough. I think that would be pretty sweet because they're going to see, oh, Lake known. And don't go into the small neighborhoods because there's always the managing of it. If I start creating too many landing pages, it just gets really confusing really fast. I want to have a landing. I don't want to have 20 landing pages, maybe 2 or 3 at most. All right. So real quickly, living in Las Vegas. So how do I create a QR code from here? Let me see. Let me bring up my other monitor. And if I go to on Google, search, let me do Google create QR code to create a built-in feature to utilize in Chrome, navigate to the page, click more. Here, let me just bring this over. I'll show you what I'm reading. So it is went to google.com, create, you could probably go to ChatGPT maybe. So in Chrome, navigate in Chrome, okay. Navigate to the more, then save and share. All right. Where's the more? Is it here? Create, nope, not there. Is it up here? Anybody see it? More. Oh, more tools? All right, more tools. And then save and share. I don't see. All right. Open the Yolan Coke I did, and then go to the fruit, which I did, and then go down to cast share. What am I missing? Ah, sorry about that. Right there. All right. Everybody see that? All right. So here's the deal. And dude, thank you so much. That is absolutely awesome. It's going to really help me out showing everybody how to do this instead of having to send people to Bitly. So here's how you do it. I'm in Chrome. I've got the flip book. All right. And I want to create a QR code for it. Up here in the very top right, there's those three little dots. There's a word for it. I'm just blanking what you call that. But regardless, click it. You got this whole menu of options. Cast, save, share. And then go to, I believe, save page as, it looks like. No, right there, create QR code. Oh, that's awesome. Create QR code. Ooh. Oh, like that dinosaur. I wonder those options. Let me see here. Oh, that is so funny. All right, let's scan it real quick and let's see what happens. I appreciate, dude, that is awesome. I learn something new every day. And oh, is it going to scan? Let's see. Let's download it. Maybe you got to download it first. All right, now let's try it. It's a funny dinosaur, but whatever. Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it. Look at that. Everybody see that? It's a little blurry. I get it. Let's see if I can make it. But you get it. You can tell that's what's on my screen. I know it's a little, there we go. All right. A little too close. Whatever. You get it. Nice. Dude, that is sweet. Thank you so much for that little gold nugget. Yeah, that is really sweet. Yeah, and you can do this in Canva. You can do it in Bitly. There's a lot of different resources, but if I have to be honest, I find Canva a little bit complicated to use. Man, I don't know what my problem with Canva is. Phenomenal program, obviously, but regardless, Bitly, I always use Bitly just because you go Bitly, slap in the link, I get the code, boom, I'm off and running. But the funny thing with that is that little dinosaur. That is so funny. I wonder if there's different options for that. Let's see again. If I go to their cast, save, and share, all right, create QR code. And yeah, I guess not. That's so funny. I wonder how they got a dinosaur. But regardless, everybody, thank you for joining us. Thanks for hanging out with me. Make sure you share your affiliate link. All right. Everybody's got an affiliate link in your listings to leads account. If you go to the profile, no, in fact, right there, affiliate link right there. I'm not sure why it says new. It's not new, but regardless, affiliate link. And you just drop in, I think to set it up, you put a PayPal email in, you click save, it generates the URL. You can copy that, send it to your best friends. There's also an email that you can share, although just sending the link is fine. You can create a Facebook post. I love it when I see Facebook posts like this one here. And then you've also got a print flyer. So if you're doing like maybe a lunch and learn, or you're doing a training at your office and you want to be able to share your affiliate link, because why not? I've had people making over $1,000 a month. Nuts. All right. Great looking PDF right there. All right. So make sure you share that as well. So any last minute questions before we go? Please leave some comments in the mastermind group. We'd love to have your comments and really think about it. It's the engagement from everybody. It's everybody helping each other. Just leaving a quick comment in the mastermind group helps everybody get some good energy going. Find a post that you got a great comment on. Share something that's been working for you. Share ideas. Share little pro tips with everybody. And let's have a great week. Let's have a great month. And let's really knock it out of the park for this year. And I will let you know when that letter that I talked about is ready, that little cover letter. and I'll do a video on how to use it. All right. Because now that I know how to do that QR code, and it'll be a Canva template. This will literally take 30 seconds to create. It'll be beautiful. All right, everybody, go to Lead Gen Webinars with an S, leadgenwebinars.com for a full training calendar. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. And don't forget to get into the mastermind group. Oh, real quick. To find the mastermind group, somebody asked earlier, go to marketing calendar and resources. Don't forget the presentations, open house in particular, but resources. And there's our YouTube channel. So somebody mentioned that, and Facebook Mastermind right there. Click join group. It'll take you here and you'll love it. All right, get in there, leave some comments, engage. We'll talk to you soon.